I'm Jolene Wynn, and this is the Porn Addict's Wife podcast, episode number 88, Intentionally Living. Your life does not have to revolve around your husband's pornography addiction. You are not defined by his choices or by what he sees on a screen. You are not just the porn addict's wife. You are so much more. In this podcast, I'm going to teach you how to go from handling it to healed. Because I've been where you are, and you don't have to stay there. My name is Jolene Wynn. I'm a member of the LDS faith, a certified life coach, and a wife of a former porn addict. And this is a podcast for the porn addict's wife. Hello, my ladies. How are you guys doing? Happy Monday. I hope you guys are having a great day. We had a great weekend. I was really secretly hoping for snow. We had this big ice storm that just came through. And earlier this week, it was supposed to be snow, and I was being a negative Nancy, and I was saying, I'll believe it when I see it, but part of me was secretly hoping for snow. And it just turned into an ice storm, which it was beautiful, but it was not the snowstorm that I was really, really hoping it would be. Everywhere else in the South, I feel like is getting snow, except for us, and I would really like some, but that's okay. It was still a great weekend. It was still a lot of fun. It was very chill and very relaxing. And I came up with, if you guys are on my email list, you guys already know this. I came up with the class that I am teaching in February inside my coaching program. And I'm super excited about it. So if you haven't joined yet, come join us, because in February, I'm going to be talking about intentional intimacy. You guys, I am so excited about this. So as you guys know, I decided to kind of have a theme for the year, and it's intentional, which is what I'm going to talk about on the podcast today. And that's what our kickoff call on Thursday is going to be about. But I want to do workshops and classes inside my coaching program that kind of take the word intentional and kind of look at what it's like in all facets of our life, right? Time and money and parenting and food and all of these things. And as I was thinking about what I wanted to teach, that's what kept coming back to my mind. And I actually talked to my husband about it, and I said, hey, so I have this idea and I'm really excited about it. And he said, I don't think that you should do that yet. I said, what? I was so excited. It completely floored me. And he was like, I don't know. I think it's too deep. I think you need to wait. Don't do it the very first month of the group. Like maybe you wait till later on in the year. And I said, you're wrong. And I put it on my Instagram stories. So if you follow me on Instagram, you saw it. But I was asking just for your opinion. And even just as I was talking about it, I convinced myself to do it because I'm just so excited about it. And I think y'all are ready. So if you guys want to come learn about intentional intimacy, come join my coaching program. All you have to do is join the program and you'll get access to it. It is not a free call that I'm doing for everybody. It is inside the program only. So once you join, you will always have access. So if you are joining even after it comes, you will have access because it will be recorded and you'll be able to watch it later. But I would really encourage for you guys to come join so that you get to do it live. And if you are going to join anyway, come join before our first kickoff call this week on Thursday, on the 20th. I am so excited about it. With this very first call is going to be a little bit different. We are going to focus on you and where you're headed this year and what you want to get out of it, what areas you want to grow in. And I'm just really excited to bring you a class that's going to help you, a call that's going to help you really get focused on where you are and where you want to go and how we're going to get you there. And then in February, we're going to have that class on intentional intimacy. And I'm super excited about it. So come join us. Go to jolenewynn.com. You can sign up immediately and you'll get access to everything right away. And you have it for life. I'm so excited. So come join us. Okay, ladies, I want to talk to you guys today about intentionally living. And I've been thinking a lot about this, and I started with this question: why is it important? Okay. And here's why it's important. Because it's how you start truly living instead of just existing. This is how you create a life where you feel whole and fulfilled rather than simply living in a role that you've chosen to move forward into, right? Rather than just being a mom and feeling unfulfilled, I want you to create your life as a mom rather than just simply existing in a role that's kind of the consequence of your choices. Does that make sense? I've been talking a lot lately about how this podcast is great. This is all about being the porn addict's wife, and I'm teaching you, and I want you to really encourage you to step forward into being more than the porn addict's wife. That's why this is so important, because you stop living a life that is simply at the effect of other people's choices, and you start living a life that's truly one of your own creation. If you want the life of your dreams, it's totally possible. All you have to do is start moving forward and go get it. And that's what intentionally living really is. So I was thinking about what this is. So first I started with why is it important? And I thought, what is it really? Like, let's look at the word intentional. And I looked it up. And so if you define the word intentional, it says done on purpose and deliberate. And I love the word deliberate, because when was the last time you lived your day deliberately? And I don't just mean scheduling things and acting according to your calendar. Yes, that is deliberately scheduling things and getting to places on time. But when was the last time you deliberately chose not just your actions, but your thoughts? When was the last time you deliberately dedicated your energy? When was the last time you deliberately dedicated your time, your effort, your mental focus? When was the last time you deliberately, purposefully felt your emotions? Ladies, these are real questions that I really want to encourage you guys to ponder, because this will let you know whether you are intentionally living your life or whether you're simply existing. We are, in our society today, we are so conditioned to distract ourselves from how we feel. We spend so much time avoiding our feelings rather than deliberately putting in energy to create a desired result. We just go through the motions. That's the definition of living a life unintentionally. Going through the motions. If that's what you feel like your life is, that's what you're doing, okay? We let our minds wander, right? And we actually try to avoid deliberate thinking. You guys, we do this all the time. We don't actually want to deliberately think about things. We want to relax. We want to watch Netflix and not think about how stressed we were today. We want to veg. We want to just scroll our phones and ignore all the things that came up throughout the day that we've been suppressing, right? Now, our brain is designed to do this, okay? It wants to try to put forth the least amount of effort, okay? And with all the distractions that are so readily available today, it's very easy to simply distract ourselves from our thoughts and from our feelings, okay? And that's no problem unless you want to live a life where you don't feel like all you're doing is going through the motions, distracting yourself from yourself. Ladies, that's not what life is about. That's not the life we're supposed to live. That's not the life God wants you to live. It's not what you were created to do. You weren't meant and designed and created to live a life where you can't even be with yourself, where you're trying to distract yourself from what's going on internally and externally. That is not living, ladies. I want you to live intentionally and on purpose. And one of the ways that I want to do this year that I'm going to work on, and that's kind of what I'm bringing into my coaching program this year, is this idea of intentional living. And one of the ways that we do that, right, is with something it's called monotasking. Have you guys heard of this? This is kind of a brand new concept. It's not a new concept. It is a new way of putting the concept. So we are very good, ladies, especially as females and moms, we're super good at multitasking, getting 1,000 things done at once. Now, what monotasking is giving all your energy and focus into one thing at a time. Rather than splitting your focus into 90 different things, you harness all of that mental energy into one thing. In this book, I'm reading a book right now, and it's called Be Where Your Feet Are, and it is phenomenal and is really what has inspired me into the focus and intentional living I want to do this year. It's the same idea as monotasking. The idea is that you be exactly where you are in that moment. When you're with your kids, be 100% with your kids. When you're at work, be 100% at work. When you're with your mom, be 100% with your mom. When you're having a conversation with a friend, be 100% there. Have you guys ever had a conversation with someone and you know that they are literally not thinking of anything else? They are just focused on you. They're not looking at their phone. They're not, and even you can just tell in their eyes that they're not even mentally somewhere else. My husband has a good friend that he met in college, and they're still friends to this day. We're good friends with them. And that was one of the very first things that I noticed about this person, about his friend, is I said, I love that when you talk to him, you have his full attention and he is genuinely interested in you. That's what I want to bring. That's what I think of when I think of monotasking, about being where your feet are. It's about being 100% harnessed and connected into that moment, whether that's with yourself or the other person. Now, ladies, I struggle with this, which is why I kind of have made it my goal for this year. My focus for this year is to be where my feet are, to let my mind be in my business when it's time, when I have dedicated that time to be in my business, and to let myself be with my kids when I'm with my kids, to not be on my phone, to not be thinking about the dishes, to not be thinking how much I wish it were already bedtime, all of those things, to simply be with them in that moment. That's what I want. That's the life I want. I want to intentionally live my life, not just go through the motions of my life, trying to ignore what's going on internally. And it's so fascinating to even think about it. As I mentioned before, we are so conditioned to distract ourselves, not only from what's happening externally, but from what's happening internally. So here's a super fascinating question is, can you give your full attention to the moment? Our brains, you guys, with social media and the constant need or the constant ability to be distracted from our thoughts, have you guys tried to sit with your thoughts? It is hard because our brain says, this is terrible. Let's distract ourselves with something more pleasant. And all you have to do is pick up your phone and you immediately have a constant stream of entertainment and distraction that you don't even have to try to go find. It's just there and it just comes up. You don't even have to search. It just is there. You can just continually scroll and never reach the end, right? So rather than doing that, can you actually harness all of that brain power and give yourself into the moment where you are? Can you monotask? Can you be where your feet are? Can you be in that conversation with your 7-year-old? Can you be in the moment with your husband when you're holding his hand? Can you be in work and not think about home when you're at work? A lot of us have really struggled with this because our brain isn't used to focusing. It's kind of like going back to school for your brain. It is hard to do. Seriously. Can you direct yourself on purpose? Ladies, these are some good questions. Can you direct yourself on purpose? One of the best things my husband and I ever did was open our children's museum. Now, not financially. I will tell you that is an entirely different story. We opened, for those who are new, my husband and I opened a small children's museum in December of 2019. And then it closed in March of 2020 and was closed for 9 months. It is open again, but we have had a rough financial experience. But what I mean is that one of the best things that ever came from us opening that business was when we were going through the process of even just coming up with the idea. Going through that process of coming up with the idea, learning how to open a business. We'd never done it before, so it was brand new. We had no idea what we were doing all the research of what we wanted to put in it, how to operate it, the computer systems, how to hire employees, what we wanted the business to run like, finding a location, getting a loan and how it was all going to work, all of that. The day that they came and installed some of the playhouses that we have in there, we have a grocery store and a farm and a construction site and all these big indoor playhouses. And the company that came and installed those, that day, I just got emotional as I stood in this space that had been needed to be completely built out. It was just, 2 units that we knocked the walls down and had to completely redo and gut from the inside out. And then watching this take shape into something where they came and installed these beautiful playhouses, I got super emotional just watching them install this because I thought, wow, you really can create something on purpose. And then a couple months later, as we actually opened, the very first day, my manager and I were working, and we worked all day. I was there all day for the first several weeks. And that first day, we were full. We had so many people come in. And again, I just got emotional, and I was so happy to see kids playing, and I was just picking up toys all day long. And I got all of these comments from people that said, "Oh my gosh, aren't you tired of doing this?" And I thought, honestly, no, because I am just so happy to see kids here playing, because that is all we wanted. And again, it was just this aha moment in my brain of really, you can create whatever you want. You can have a life that you think up. Ladies, this is nuts to me. You can direct your life on purpose. You can direct yourself on purpose. And it's not easy. Again, your brain wants to take the easy way out, and it wants to just distract itself. Because when you start directing your life on purpose, guess what comes up? All that stuff that you've been distracting yourself from for so long. It comes up and you have to face it. But guess what comes if you allow yourself to do that? If you actually learn how to direct yourself and you put the dedication in to do it, you create the life of your dreams. It is absolutely a miracle. So can you not only direct yourself on purpose, but can you create the results that you desire? Ladies, do you have the results in your life that you want right now? And if not, they are totally available to you. You just have to create them. It takes intention, ladies. Deliberate. Remember that word? It takes intention, not just in your action, okay, but your thoughts and your emotions, because that is what drives your action. And as you ladies know, it's the action that we take in our life that produces the results. If we are unclear in our direction, we just end up kind of in a general area, right? This is why I'm so excited for this kickoff call on Thursday, and I really encourage you all to come, because if you don't set up clear directions for where you want to go, you don't get anywhere specifically, right? If you're just kind of like, I know I kind of want to head south. You guys, the South is so general. I mean, some people think, Texas is the South, but so is Florida. And those are super far away. And even within Florida, that's a pretty big state. Like, where exactly in the South do you want to go, right? We need to be deliberate and intentional about where we want to go. If you know exactly where you want to go, if you are directing your life on purpose, you can end up at an exact destination. It's kind of like putting in an address versus putting in a state. If you're like, I just want to go to like Pennsylvania. You guys, have you ever driven through Pennsylvania? It's huge. It takes forever. If you know exactly where you want to go, you can even say the town and kind of get generally in an area. If you want a specific address, if you want to know how to get somewhere specifically, you have to do that on purpose. You can't just head in the general direction and hope that you get there. Yeah, you'll get close. But if you want something specific in your life, that takes deliberate, intentional action. Not just with what you do, but with your thoughts and with your feelings first, because that is what drives your action, and that is how you end up where you want to go. You need to know where you're going, and you need to decide how you're going to get there. Again, this is one of the things I'm so excited to talk about on this call is, where do you want to go and how do you want to get there? Not how can you get there or how should you get there, but how do you want to get there? Do you want to walk? Do you want to drive in a car or take a plane or come in a horse and buggy, right? How do you want to get where you're going? You get to decide this, ladies. This is what is so exciting about living on purpose. Intentional living is all about deciding where you want to go and making it happen for yourself how you want it to happen. And you can do that. It just takes deliberate acting on your part. It takes deliberate thoughts, deliberate feelings, and deliberate actions to create the exact results that you want. And here's another great question is, how will you know when you get there? So many of us come up with this idea, this kind of dream. The thing I think that really differentiates a dream from a desired result that actually could happen, right? What's the difference, right? Is it just a dream? Is it something that's actually attainable? Really, that's all up to you. How will you know when you get there? What's going to happen? How will you know the moment that you've arrived at what you want? When you have the marriage you've always wanted, how will you know? What does that look like? And why is that what you want? Ladies, again, you're never going to know what you want. You're never going to have the life that you want unless you know what it will even look like. So many of you guys I hear come to me or will write to me and say, I don't have the marriage that I want. What does the marriage you want look like? What does the life you want look like? Let's start there. It takes intentional focus, ladies, and purposeful direction to move yourself to create the life that you want to live. And it's totally doable. I'm going to teach you how to do it. You guys are learning how to do it on this podcast. Come join me in coaching and I will teach you how to do it and I will help you do it. Come join. I would love to help you and live on purpose, ladies. Life is too short to just live it by accident. I love you, ladies, so much. I'll talk to you next week. Take care. All right, my ladies, if you enjoyed that podcast episode, you have to come join my coaching program. It is $2,500 for lifetime access to all of my online content and all of my coaching calls. Not only will you get one-on-one attention from me through coaching calls, you will also get to join this amazing community of women who are all working through this the exact same as you are. You'll also get 24/7 access to me through Slack, our private group messaging channel, and you will get access to all of the new material and content that I create. If you are ready to start applying everything that you've learned on the podcast and really take everything to the next level and start creating who you are as more than the porn addict's wife, I want to encourage you to come join my program today. Head to jolenewin.com, click on join, and you can join anytime. I can't wait to see you there.